I just came back from 2 Ruby conferences in Europe and I hung out with some genius engineers. One of the topics everybody talked about is the current job market for Ruby on Rails engineers, especially for juniors. My name is Till Carlos and I document how we build products here on this YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about my favorite framework, which is Ruby on Rails, and what the current job market is about.
There is some general developer interest, obviously, in different other languages more than there are for Ruby maybe, but there is a lot of existing and kind of legacy code that's going to need to be maintained for a longer term. So in that regard, there'll always be this residual kind of interest in the Rails environment and in being able to at least keep those guys alive because it's great software. There's a lot of really excellent software. It needs every once in a while a new feature to be thrown in.
Keeping apps alive is maybe not a sexy job, but it's going to be something that pays our bills for the future. Yes, and that's true. Ruby on Rails has a lot of legacy apps already, and those companies are still hiring and they still need engineers. The problem is with greenfield. That means new apps that get put out, go online right now, and there are not so many as there used to be.
Told you what I think is that people are taking framework decisions every day. People are founding new projects, new business every day, and they are not choosing Rails or not choosing Ruby anymore. I mean, people chose Ruby 15 years, everybody chose Ruby 15 years ago. Nowadays, basically nobody is choosing that anymore, and this does not create opportunities for junior developers to learn on small code bases and exciting projects. All the businesses I know of, they are legacy businesses or, regular businesses with large code bases. And it's pretty hard for junior developers to get into these. It takes a lot of effort for the senior developers to train them in these large applications. And this is what in my opinion, creates the scarcity of junior developer positions. So if we can manage to maybe innovate in Ruby or on Ruby on Rails and make choosing Ruby a more attractive choice in the future, we can solve this junior dev problem.
True, we should be able to create more apps, more greenfield apps with Ruby on Rails. But this is definitely something. As the companies that are still hiring are more bigger now and work with a lot of frameworks and a lot of code that has been written already, this makes it very hard for juniors to even grasp the whole depth of something that has been there for like 15 years now, 10, 15 years now. I do believe it's still able to, for junior developers, there's still a huge opportunity if they just get over this initial hurdle of learning it and getting somewhat good at it. After that, it's very easy to get hired.
It feels like everyone is still searching for talent, but nobody wants to, for example, hire juniors and build the talent themselves. And it's also, you would think that our wages would go down, and I think at some point they maybe do, but on the other hand, we are so used to being able to make a lot of money in our industry, which is a huge privilege, right? And it feels like some of that is going away, but I don't know for how long and for how much. It feels really, really weird.
Yeah, so I think people like Jan, they always be hired because they take uncertainty out of the equation. You give him a project and he's able to finish it and ship it at a high quality. I also believe that the job market responds to uncertainty. And right now, especially with AI, we have a lot of uncertainty. Let's put aside all the economic changes we have and any kind of market right now. AI is disrupting so many things, and there's a lot of uncertainty of, let's say you hire a junior developer right now. Do you still need them in 2 years from now, or will any kind of new version of ChatGPT, could that just take care of that position? And I think that's the reason why juniors are not getting hired, but seniors are still very much in demand.
Right now it's a bit rougher than it used to be, but I feel that happens every 10, 15 years, time to time. I don't have much deep thoughts around that.
If you put a scale of proficiency in Ruby on Rails of 10, then Rado is at a 10. Yeah, and of course, this is the phenomenon. Someone who is senior, they don't even see that there is any kind of scarcity of jobs because they get bombarded with job offers. Steven's going to be the last one in this series, and I'm going to close with this already. He gives very good tangible advice on what to do if you need a job, if you're searching for something. There are 2 things that you would need in order to find jobs very fast and watch this one. Thank you for watching this long.
Recently was in the job market, sort of swimming around very loosely and passively. I do think it has cooled from when I got my current job. I've been there 5.5 years. In that market, I went to a job board, I filtered for Rails, I filtered for Germany, I applied to 2 jobs and I got one of them. It was very stressless. And in the current job market, I have had various conversations with various companies that go to various stages. I do think it's a lot harder for juniors. If you're trying to get your first job in tech, I think it's a chilly market. If you are a more experienced developer, I think you have a chance. But my experience, and even from anecdotal information from friends, it's really important to have people that you know, to have a network, to like have connections, and to have some public demonstrations of your abilities. Like, do open source work, have projects, demo projects you've built, side projects you've done. I cannot imagine how difficult it would be to try to get a job without having any real network and not having any real public demonstrations of your work. I think in this market that would be a really steep uphill battle.